3 factories, same machine. One team services it on a fixed calendar. One waits for sensors to sound the alarm. And one decides asset by asset. Only one of them is actually right, and it depends entirely on the machine. In heavy industry, downtime is measured in thousands of dollars per minute. Every strategy below is trying to solve the same problem. Stop equipment from failing when you least expect it. But they solve it in very different ways. And the costs, the complexity, and the payoff are not the same. Pick the wrong one, and you either overspend or you break down. First, preventive maintenance. This is the scheduled approach. You service equipment on a fixed rhythm, whether it needs it or not. Think oil changes every 3,000 miles or replacing filters every 6 months. It runs on the calendar, not the condition. The upside? It's simple, predictable, and cheap to start. You're being proactive instead of waiting for a breakdown. The downside? You can over-maintain, swapping out parts that still have life left. Scheduled shutdowns can collide with production, and fast-developing faults can still slip through between visits. Next, predictive maintenance. This one is data-driven. Instead of a schedule, you watch the equipment in real time and act only when the data says a failure is coming. Sensors track vibration, temperature, sound, and oil condition. AI and IoT spot the patterns a human ear would miss. So you fix the motor right before it fails, not a month too early, not a minute too late. The payoff is big, less unplanned downtime, and you can even carry fewer spare parts because demand is easier to forecast. But it's a heavier lift. Sensors and software cost money. The data gets complex fast, and you need skilled people to read it. Oil and gas led the way here, and heavy manufacturing and power generation followed. So which do you choose? That's exactly the question reliability-centered maintenance answers. RCM isn't a third technique competing with the other two. It's the decision framework that sits above them. Born in the airline industry in the 1960s, it asks a simple question for every critical asset. How can this fail? How bad is it if it does? And what's the smartest way to prevent it? For one asset, the answer might be preventive. For another, predictive. For a low-risk part, you might just run it to failure. RCM decides what each asset needs, based on risk and business impact, instead of treating everything the same. The catch? Done the old way, it's slow. A full study on one production line can take 6 to 12 months of workshops. Put them side by side, and the trade-offs get clear. Watch cost and complexity climb, and watch the risk of a surprise breakdown fall. Preventive runs on a schedule, predictive on data, RCM on risk. While preventive is cheap to start, predictive and RCM require more upfront investment. Complexity is low for preventive, but high for predictive and RCM. However, the downtime reduction is significantly higher with targeted strategies. Preventive is best for simple gear, predictive for critical assets, and RCM for managing mixed fleets across your entire operation. Ultimately, you're trading complexity for reliability. So here's a simple way to decide. If the asset is low cost, simple, or regulated, start with preventive. It's reliable and easy. If it's high value, critical, and complex, and you have the team to read the data, go predictive. And when you've got a whole fleet of mixed assets and limited budget, use RCM to decide, asset by asset, which gets which. The truth is, the best operations don't pick just one. They run preventive as the baseline, layer predictive onto their most critical machines, and let RCM set the priorities. Preventive keeps it simple. Predictive keeps it precise. RCM decides where each one belongs. The right answer isn't one strategy, it's the right mix for your assets. If your team is modernizing how it plans maintenance and reliability, explore the practical guides over at Verdantis.